Okay, so hello again. For you, it's probably not been very long. It's probably just the normal schedule of video posts, but for me, it's been a few weeks since I've been out here at this point. Some of you saw my update a little while back saying that I was joining a band playing guitar. Well, I ended up in two bands, one of which I'm playing guitar for, one of which I'm playing bass for. It's mostly the same guys, but one of them is like a 90s grunge act, and one of them does like 70s and 80s rock stuff. So, yeah, I'm busy now, but I'm not abandoning the whole guitar building thing either. So, I have finally made it back into the garage. Totally screwed my back up about 2 weeks ago, so that also sidelined me for a bit. But now we're back in the garage, we're doing stuff, which is wonderful, because that's one of my favorite things, is to be back in the garage and doing stuff. So, we are currently at the point where we're going to start tackling routing the bridge. And I'm just taking a look here, trying to get some information from the prints and things like that. And looking at this, it looks like the breakover of the saddle, with them being as far forward as they can move from the front of the trim to the front of the saddle is 12 millimeters, I think is what it's telling me. I'm just going to put a ruler to that to verify that, or get close to verifying that. Well, that's more than that. It's 15 millimeters. Yeah, it's 15 millimeters. Oh, I suppose the print is showing, yeah, the print's showing me to the front of the block, but that's not where the saddle breaks over. The saddle breaks over about 15 millimeters from the front edge. So, 15 millimeters in front of that 25.5 would put my saddles right in front, or would put my saddles right in line with the 25.5 scale. Of course, then that gives me absolutely no forward adjustment at all if I go right to the 15 millimeter mark. So I think I might go 17 millimeters. Because if I would go 15 millimeters with my saddles all the way forward, they're going to be right at 25.5. If I need it a little bit shorter for intonation purposes, that's going to screw me up. So I'm going to want to be able to move it back. So if I go 17 millimeters in front of the 25.5 inch line, right? Am I thinking backwards here? Let me think. So 15 would be with the bridge all the way to the front. So if I go to 17 millimeters, moving it back 2 millimeters would put me at 25.5. Moving it back, I still have room to move it back farther than that yet. I think that makes sense. We can pick up there, bridge there. That seems like it's awfully far forward. Like it should be. But I don't think so. I think I got it right.
So if you had a neck pickup, it'd be closer. It'd be up here. Is that right?
I want my saddles to be at 25.5 because that's length of string from front edge of nut to saddle of string. Yeah, and then pick up there. I guess, I mean, it is maybe a little bit farther forward than I'm used to seeing, but I'm not used to seeing a 24-inch or 24 fret neck on a Les Paul either. So that's why it probably looks a little bit weird. Okay, then Now, I don't know if this one is also going to be insufficiently sized. That looks right. That's way too small.
That's what she said.
Just out of curiosity, because I thought these were the same size. I think I could do it with this one. So this side would have to be the side I base it off of. Anyway, I had to do some creative work because the template that I bought from Crimson for routing the trim plate, the trim block, I kind of slipped and chewed the hell out of when I was doing my brother's V. So I just built another one out of MDF so I can get this done. Now, we have a bit of a issue here. It took me a little bit to figure this out, but the drawing here was not for the 7-string. So as I measured it out in the cavity there, it looked huge. It didn't look right. Well, that's because these measurements are based upon a 6-string trim, not a 7-string trim. But the trim block and nut, you know, the route that I'm doing right now, which allows for the trim block and the nut to recess down into the body, doesn't change. I mean, it's still the same on a 7-string Floyd Rose as it is on a 6-string Floyd Rose. So the dimensions of the trim block and the nut for where the trim arm screws into the trim doesn't change on a 7-string trim block. So this is still the same route as the 6-string route. So anyway, after drawing it out inside the cavity, realized that was not correct. So then I made one that is correct. All right, so I don't have a router bit that is a 1/4-inch shank that's long enough that the bearing can ride on the template and still be cutting the wood. I do have a 1/2-inch one. He's a girthy boy, but it'll do the job here. So I'm going to start out working that off the template. Hopefully I can get deep enough to where I'm not going to run into an issue, although I fear I might. So there may be a couple of bearing change or a couple of router bit changes here to accomplish this, because the depth sheet says it's got to be 29.5 mil from the top. And we're already 7 mil down right there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to start the cut with this one. I might have to change the bit again so I can continue to plunge down in and use my cut that I've already made as, you know, the edge for the bearing to ride on once I get down in there a little ways. But anyway, we'll figure all that out as we go. regardless of which I have to start out with this. So we'll worry about what comes next. I won't worry about it just yet. Awesome sauce. Okay. Now, for the back.
High five.
So from there to there. Jesus, that's almost exactly what it is on that other one, too.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah, I guess. It's about 178. Yeah, 178. So okay. Okay. See how close I got with that to what the actual Foy Rose dimensions are. It says 123 and 56 and a half. Oh, that's more. But I guess a little more doesn't hurt anybody. Just don't want it narrower than that.
Well, narrower, you can make it bigger. But more, you can't make it smaller.
Sure you can. Just put it in cold water for a little while. Yeah, that's not centered either. Okay, well, I can either use this the hell is that? Okay, I can either use this or I can build a whole other one.
I thought you didn't want to build.
I don't want to build a whole other one. I'm so sick and tired of building templates. So that's 70. So
What is that one for?
The cover.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's offset too, though.
Yeah, but is that cover thing for a 6th string or a 7th
Yeah, it
string?
wouldn't matter. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it does need to be offset a little bit. Hang on. Okay, so I was incorrect. It is supposed to be intentionally offset. I guess I've never, I mean, in all the years of all the guitars I've owned and played and stuff, I've never paid close enough attention. But apparently, and I don't know if I did it right on my brother's guitar. I mean, it clearly is right on my brother's guitar. It works, but I mean, I know it works. He plays it nonstop. I hear about it all the time. But
It's gotta make you feel good, though.
oh, it does. But I never noticed, but apparently it is offset to the right. All right. So this has to be to a depth of 16. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of My Madness. Click like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.